Yeah, you made it lock in. Court lights flicker, I'm feeling that tip-off fever. NBA dreams spin tight like a crossover sleeper. Fourth and inches in the cold, crowd breathing like smoke. NFL grit in my voice when the pressure get woke. Engine scream through the night, that F1 razor. Lines cut clean, turn sharp like a hometown savior. NASCAR drift in my blood when the pace gets wild. I talk speed like a veteran, move calm like a smile. Legends born out of sweat, out of heartbreaks echo. I break plays down smooth, call the game like a maestro. Every lane that we touch, every story we show, this is where the truth runs. The Not Blind Show. Fast, race, whole crowd froze. Big drives, deep shots, watch the moment explode. Every angle hit heavy with a champion's glow. Step into the kingdom, the Not Blind Show.
Lock in.
You made it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's lock in to the Not Bland Show. Happy Monday. We have so much to talk about this week that there's no way we could have gotten it all in one show. So we're having a show today talking about the weekend that was the Arizona Nationals. And then tomorrow we will have statistician and IHRA insider Dave W. on tomorrow to talk all things IHRA, because there's just so many storylines that are going on within the IHRA to start the season for them. So super excited about what we have. We just have a plethora of drag racing stuff. Yeah, super early. We're going to have this show, and then we will have our normal show tomorrow at 7. We just had to get this in. We tried to get Spencer Hyde, who was a semifinalist, or runner-up, I should say, in the final. Just a lot to talk about. And he had a meeting and was unable to make it. But look, we got plenty to talk about. I want to thank everybody who supports us here. VTR and Sports, I want to thank you for allowing us to be on your platform. You can find all the audio versions of this show on VTR and Sports, and you can also find our articles there from sportsjourney.com. They are also there on VTR and Sports. I want to thank Drag Race Bracket Bonanza. We will have our Drag Race Bracket Bonanza top 10 review, and we will have some fun facts to share about this past weekend as well. I want to thank everybody who's in the chat here. Yes, we had a great weekend of drag racing. Yes, two shows. So you guys will get a treat this week. 2 shows, a lot going on here in the world of drag racing. Well, let's just take a break. We'll pay these bills, and when we come back, we'll get started on what was the Arizona Nationals.
Drag racing fans, check out Drag Race Bracket Bonanza. It's the free, family-friendly fantasy bracket game. Now, after final qualifying at every national event, you can fill out your bracket for all the pro classes.
It's free, easy to click on your picks. If you need some help, just hit the randomizer button to fill in the blanks. It's for fun, stay engaged, and pick your winners today.
We will get to that. It was an ugly weekend for a lot of us because there was a lot of bracket busters that just completely destroyed people's brackets immediately, right out of the gate. We'll talk about it towards the end of the show, but what a weekend. Temperatures over 100 degrees, track temperatures extremely high, some of the worst that I think we've seen in probably a while as far as the last couple of years when it comes down to, tuners having to adjust to some really high temps. And it really made it hard coming into this weekend to figure out exactly who was going to get the W, in each class. And your winners, just in case you were living under a rock, it was Sean Langdon in Top Fuel, Ron Capps in Funny Car, which that win is just completely cold-blooded. And I'll tell you why. Dallas Glenn and Pro Stock, they had Justin Bond. We'll talk about Justin Bond being able to win there in Pro Mod. So that's about where I'm going to keep it. We'll talk about Pro Mod. There was no alcohol classes here at all. No bikes, obviously. We don't see the bikes until another 2 races. So it come back to you in Charlotte. But if you go back and you look at the data of the qualifying rounds, E1 through E4, it really was a toss-up in who was going to come out and be consistent on race day. But there were a few. You saw Tony Stewart, that is, having an opportunity. He's laid down 2, I believe, good passes, especially in E1 with the 85. I think came back, qualifying round number 1, I think it was the 82, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, nope. No, he didn't make it. So I think he had 1 good run on the day. Everybody had at least 1 decent run, some none. And Sean had the issue right out of the gate in Q1 that kind of threw things off. You look at Q2, and it was much of the same, just a lot. You had Sean go 92. You had a 98 from Antron, and most of the rest were in 4s with that lone 99 from Leah Pruitt. So very difficult to kind of judge the racetrack. It was a nightmare for tuners. Just unbelievable what these guys had to go. Yeah, it was cool to see these 2 clash this weekend. Almost. It was, what a weekend for that car, and him did a great driving job. You look at Funny Car, it was much of the same. Guys in qualifying just simply struggled. The track temperatures were extremely high. You had your low 4s from Rupert, came right out of the gate with a 404.4. Jason Rupert did. Everybody else, you had Dave Richards 404 at 9. Paul Lee with the 402. Jack Beckman with that lone 398. A 99 by Hagen in that round. And that was pretty much it. Everybody else was in the 4s or low 4s from 408 to below that. 401 to 408 is probably about the happy spot. I thought Dylan, I think it's Wafinski, they came out. I thought the showing was very, very respectable. Being that they don't get a chance to run the car very much, you don't get an opportunity to face those type of conditions. They went right down on the first pass with a 421. Very admirable. They didn't oil the track down. None of that. Great job by that team in given the conditions, because it's very easy to, get carried away and murder an engine. So great job by them. Another big talk of the weekend started out with Austin Prock. They struggled a bit, came into Q3 and had, a 404.1 at 320. That was their best run, really, of the weekend. Came back Q4, of course, and, after the 404, they were unable to get the car down the racetrack. So 1 out of 3 in qualifying. Again, for a team with learning new stuff, it's difficult. I'll get to that, though, in my Let Me Talk to You segment of this show. The Force cars seem to manage. I thought J.R. Todd coming into the weekend had a really good shot at winning. I thought Jack Beckman also had that shot of winning. Jordan was another one, and Spencer Hyde was pretty much my people that I was looking at before race day began. Those are the people I was looking at in Funny Car. Top Fuel, I thought it'd be the Colettas, both Sean and Doug. I just think the team is just tough this year, and they're going to have their share of trading back and forth wins. Tony Stewart has also been one to proved that they can get down a hot racetrack as well. And I wasn't sure about Matty Gordon, but once again, we continue to say Rob Flynn was not the problem. Okay, he was not the problem, and he continues to prove that they were able to go in here. I think this was like Q1 with the 84 out of nowhere, while everybody else is struggling to get, a 399 run. They run an 84 in round one. So coming into race day, those are the people that I was thinking about in Top Fuel. And then once you got to the ladder of the weekend in both Funny Car and Top Fuel, after first round, it changed a lot. I figured Sean would go all the way and win. He was my pick in Drag Race Bracket Bonanza for the win. I also thought Matty had an opportunity. They are pretty much a team that has been proven they can pull a 380 to a 386 out of the hat, no problem, and they make it look easy. And early on, that was the racetrack, and pretty much it was the racetrack all weekend long. They came out, did a good job, and then Leah also showed that they were a possible contender with getting an opportunity to win. I thought that Tony would run a little bit better than he did in round 2 against Maddie. They ran that 395. She ran a 385-1, came out and ran a 385 right out of the gate, and they repeated it again. It was just pretty much a rinse and repeat for them. And Stewart with the 82. That's why I was like, okay, we could see Stewart and Langdon in the semis. Did not come to be. As Sean would go all the way, Maddie would take out Tony, and I saw Josh Hart leaving early. And here's why. You go back and you look at just what does the data tell you? What does history tell you? They struggle in conditions like this to rein back the horsepower, and they usually drive up into tire smoke. That's just a known thing. We saw it last year in key moments where they had to have it. Likely could have had an opportunity and probably had the better car to go on and win the race. Just can't seem to tiptoe down the racetrack in these cooler or in these hot sessions while everybody else was pulling off 80s. I mean, they came out in round 1 with a 4.0, didn't really, whisk the tires mid-track. But you come out and run a 4.08, that's just not going to cut it. You've got to find a way. If everybody else can run a 4 or a 382 or more, you could have found a 380. You could have found a 388 at least. And I think those things are what they're going to have to work on here in the early part of this season if they want to have an opportunity to win a championship this year with Josh Hart at the helm. They've got to fix the hot weather tune-up, because it's either that or you've got to come out and you've got to dominate and completely manhandle the point system and get all the small points to make sure that you're at least at the top going into the countdown. And then usually you go to, we're going to, US 42 or Dragway 42 or something like that. I wanted to say Maple Grove, but that's not it. So that is a questionable track. We don't know exactly what they're going to do there, because this will be a new surface. You have about 3 of those new surfaces that you're going to face. And some of these tuners haven't faced these surfaces in a very long time. So it's going to be very interesting to see how Josh Hart and this team plays out. The Pits podcast says, I feel like Maddie's consistency will land her in the winner circle sooner than later. I do too. And also the consistency of Rob Flynn and crew. One thing they've proven, that they can go out and run a 85 or 88 to an 85 easy. That's that is in their wheelhouse to do and pull out the card and lay it on the table every single time. They have also shown that they can get it into the 70s as well. 78, I think they had a 77 in Gainesville and a 79. So they've shown that they can get it. The question is, which I don't know, we're going to see if this year lends that, because this is a new year. In those hero sessions, can you get it in the 60s? Or does it matter? Because I tend to think hero session is like going out to the driving range and hitting your driver and, you know, you're killing it. And then when you get to the course, it just doesn't translate. It's just not reality. That's why I don't go to the driving range to work on my drive. Because usually if you're going to play golf the next day or 2 days from then, you're going to come out and do the most idiotic things that just don't make sense. But you're like, it would look so well at the driving range. So I kind of like those hero sessions, liking those hero sessions to that. It's great to put those numbers up on the board. It looks good. But is that something that matters and it's going to be something that is consistently that's going to win you races? That'll be yet to be determined based on weather. It'll be very, very interesting. You're right, and I have a vote. Right now, I'm thinking she's hands down Rookie of the Year. Unless someone rises to the occasion, I think it's going to be very hard for people not to, just because of her charisma. She's likable, approachable, very relatable to a lot of young people, young and old alike. So yeah, good call. I do think that as well. But at the end of the day, we saw Sean and Leah within the final. And if you missed it, it went something like this. I think I've got it right. Yes, went like this.
They are gone, baby, gone. A great drag race finish line stripe. It is Langdon doing the job. 387.7, 325 miles an hour. Sean Langdon gets it done in fine fashion.
And that diamond anniversary Wally is going to go in the hands of Sean Langdon after a bounce back from Gainesville to pick up the second Wally of this season. And you just told me off camera I got lucky. I doubt that, Sean. How much instinct is in these finals?
You know, honestly, it's all about the team you surround yourself with. Obviously, Connie Coletta, he's at home. He's not here this weekend, but I'm sure he's watching. Got one for you, Connie. And you surround yourself with good people. Obviously, we didn't get the start we wanted with Q1, had a safety malfunction, so we got behind the 8 ball. But Brian Husen, Aaron, Justin, the whole team, everybody at Coletta Air, we got a great group behind us. We knew it was going to be a good final. It was pretty cool, man. We got a pretty good run here going at Phoenix, so we might need to talk to you guys about putting on a second one, huh?
Yeah, he is, I believe this is his third straight win, or third or fourth. I had it written down somewhere. But a great weekend for him. And like I said, I just believe that this Coletta Motorsports team as a whole is going to be tough this year, especially in Top Fuel. And what a showing for Leah, really says a lot about the crew, but also says a lot about where she's at as a driver. I know people will look back at the first round and that 119 light. I think that was a situation where she knows she has the car to win. Just don't screw it up by red lighting. I think that's where you get that 119. Don't want to be too quick on the tree and have a winnable round be taken from you because you red lit. So she knew she had the car. You saw it step up a little bit there. I think it was some of the same. I would think in one hand, you have to respect what David Grubnick and that team is capable of doing. On the other hand, you had to know that you had the car to be able to win you the race. You just needed to be in the ballpark. 98 to his 75 is kind of in the ballpark. When you want a 388.7, sure. If Josh ran a 388, she would have taken a loss. That's the chance you take sometimes. Her lights were in the 90s until the final where she cut that 80 to Sean's 79. But great day for her. Those are the three that going into, it'll be 2 weeks or 3 weeks from now when we go to Pomona. But really looking at Leah, Sean, Maddie as the players and the ones to watch here, and also including Doug into this as the players coming into Pomona. What a job by Will Smith. They went out there in the first round and ran a 385-2. If they ran Antron, Josh, Justin, Cameron, Sean, and Jared, and Clay and Tony, they would have won the round. Just luck of the draw, right? You had to draw Doug. And he left on Doug. Big time, 68 to 95. But good job by Will Smith and crew. The car is starting to find its legs. They were able to go out there, run an 80, 85-2 at 320. Good stuff, especially given the circumstances of a new team. Had some woes in Gainesville, couldn't get that thing to translate to the racetrack. Then come here, get in the show, and then you put up a number. It has to make you feel good if you're their team coming into Pomona. You got something and was able to get a really nice run in some questionable conditions. Now, moving to the funny car, this is wild, very much so, because you get here with Ron Capps as he completely obliterates his car. I mean, toast. Absolute toast in the second round. They have to do a complete change. Everybody, it's all hands on deck here. You run in here and you get the car to the line at the last minute. Shout out to Paul Lee and team for waiting on him, but you get it there at the last minute. It looks like chaos, but I think you have to agree it's controlled chaos is what they had. And then to be able to stay focused, they cut basically the same light, 81 to an 80, and win the round. I knew right then if they could roll that car, go through all of that, roll that car up and get the W, they probably were going to win this race. That was absolute cold-blooded to be able to go through all of that, roll that car up at the last minute, stay focused, no one's rattled, run your race, you're on to the final. But a great job, and again, Jim Head proving how he is able to navigate a hot racetrack. Just 4 old people to death, or 4 people to death. Did a 401 in the first round, 414 second, 418 in the semi against Matt, and then ran that 432. He was ahead and just broke. I think it was a low 4.0 that they had if it could have stuck. And he was definitely pulling ahead of Capps, even though Capps left first. But a great day for Ron Capps Motorsports, and what a way to cap off the day, going through what you went through, having to face that explosion. You're having to check the car over. There was a lot of changes that had to be done, and yet you guys were able to keep your composure. And they kept their composure, and it looked like this in the final round.
They're rolling, and there goes Ron Capps. What a victory for this team. 412 again.
And he just let out an audible, "Oh my God." And Ron, after the second round, you were up here. That's yours, you can take it. Oh my God. After round 2, you were up here at the top end questioning if it was worth it. Was it?
I told you. You and I were going to see each other down here, and it was either going to be worth it or it wasn't. Oh, my God, it is. Amanda. Maddie, we've been doing all this media tour. Oh, it's so heavy. And this is the coveted one right here, man. Snake was here all weekend. I mean, just think of the legacy and what's gone into this. And we've talked about this. This is unbelievable. Oh, my God. Thank you, Wally Parks, first of all. Catherine, everybody at Napa, all the Napa Auto Care people. You know, you want to just take these and chop them all up in 6,000 different Napa stores, Napa Auto Cares. Our Carlisle Tools came on board and done so much fun stuff with Maddie and I. NHRA, 75 years, man. This is so awesome to win here. Everybody said I had bad luck, but look it, we ended up winning. Monster Energy, man, coming on board has been so much fun. Ron Capps Motorsports, we're having fun right now, but my God, I can't even get over this thing. This is awesome.
I have one more for you.
What? Oh my God, we get another?
What a deal. What a deal. Yeah, we're going to have 2 shows this week. Memphis Lonnie just had too much stuff going on IHRA, NHRA to kind of put that in one show. It's just not going to happen. So we're here now for NHRA stuff. Yeah, didn't even start in the pit before pulling it up. And you go on to win the race. Ridiculous. But before we get into Pro Stop, let me talk to you. Look, if you want to dislike the props, fine. That's fine. It's all part of sports, and I think they should embrace it. I don't think they should read the newspaper clippings. I don't think you need to be on the internet. It's obvious you're on the internet because you made that comment, Austin, so you were paying attention. But that's fine. If you're going to pay attention, then use it as fuel to put and show people why they shouldn't be talking about y'all. But I'm going to say this. There's a whole new program. You're dealing with Ford. You're dealing with a whole new set of parts, pieces. I told y'all that it was going to be an issue for at least the first quarter of the season. There's a lot of new moving parts. Blowers play a big part in that. They are not one and the same between John Force Racing and Bob Tasker. Now, will they be much improved in the future? Probably. I'm sure they're waiting on a ton of new parts that are on back order. I'm sure of it. Because I'm sure they want to, again, like we see it in football and in other forms of sport, coach has his playbook. This is the way he likes to run it. And they need to find the players and pieces to get that done. And I don't think they have all of those players and pieces to get that done. For them to have made the show and did what they did under those circumstances, pretty tough. Look, it's going to take them at least a quarter. I'm going to give them a quarter of this regular season to get it done. And at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter where they fall. If they're in the top 6 by the time they come into Indy, the points reset anyway. And then it's just balls to the wall and try to secure a championship. I think they're going to be a major player in this regular season. And I think, as you can see, they quietly have a chip on their shoulder. You can see it from Austin, but they also understand the process of what they're doing. And if you are honest with yourself and you look at the incrementals, you look at what they've been able to do, there has been improvement. But I also will say they don't have all the parts and pieces. But you got to get used to sometimes being the bad guy, though, because this is all a part of sport. This is all a part of, the nature of what we do. Whether it's football, basketball, baseball, it's all the same. Everybody hates a winner. It's all love for the first time. Then when they do it back to back to back, people are tired now, and they're looking for every reason for this particular team to fall. I mean, look at the Kansas City Chiefs. They won so much, people got tired. Other than Kansas City fans, people got tired. And now they're looking at every single move that they make, and they're like, ha ha, y'all just paid Kelsey all that money for what? They have so many needs. So, look, it's going to be fine. But also, just own it, man. Somebody got to be the villain. Can't be a face all the time. Sometimes you got to be a heel. And right now, it's the best heel play for you. And if you lean into that and then they start to rattle off wins, it's going to really stick in folks' craw. So just lean into it, bro. It's all good. It's all good. Looking into pro stock, let's check the comments real quick. Yes, NHRA will be tomorrow. We have Dave W on tomorrow. So that's why we're doing this show today. There's not enough time tomorrow to talk NHRA. Just not. We tried to get Spencer Hyde, but he was going to be in a meeting at the time of this show. So it was kind of last minute when I decided it, because I just didn't want to cut. I don't want to cut NHRA short. I think there are some really intriguing stories over there, and I don't want to cut the NHRA short either. Dallas Glenn, again, another KB card, gets the W. And we'll get into the drag race bracket bonanza stuff here real soon. But he gets the W. And early in the season, his first win, we're 2 races in, he gets a win early in the season. This is going to be a fun season. I do believe that Elite is in the ballpark now. But being in the ballpark, can you now translate it to W's? And they didn't do too bad overall, but you can still see KB. You had a few Elite, a few KB, so not too bad in the semis. So good stuff for Dallas Glenn. He just continues to carry on from his championship run into this season. And if you missed it, that's how it went down.
Or will Coughlin have a shot at it? Within 3,000s, he's got himself within fighting distance here. But at the finish line stripe, the win light will shine for Dallas Glenn by 0.05 of a second. Coughlin's car was overly aggressive in the first 60 feet, spun the tires a little, and Dallas Glenn drove away for win number 44 on his career.
And already picking up a Wally here this season, Brian. But you looked at me after the semis, and what did you say when you saw this trophy?
I said, that is a cool trophy. That is extra motivation for the final round there. That thing is cool, along with this Diamond Wally right here. Everybody at KB Titan Racing, they've had this car on rails today. This thing has been flying. It's glued to the track. It's hot. It's tricky out here. I don't know how I got a 27 out of that. It's not easy to cut a light right now, but HendrickCars.com, Rad Torque Systems, Summit. We've got Holly EFI and Simpson on board with us as well, and this feels good. So hopefully this, I really wanted one of these Diamond Wallies. Aren't these things cool? Look at this.
Yeah, those things are cool. Very well done by the team who put that together. That was really cool. And we're starting to see, I like it because tracks are starting to pick up on this thing that started in New England, and other tracks are picking up on this and having their own flavor. So I love it. This is great, along with the chair and the saddle and all that stuff. Good stuff coming out from different races that are being added to the Wally. I think it's really cool. Gives it a little more sentiment. You know what I mean? But good stuff by Dallas Glenn. And yeah, that's it, man. That is your Arizona Nationals in a nutshell. So we're going to move after this commercial break. We will move and we will talk drag race bracket bonanza. Boy, probably as bad as my NCAA bracket. Talking Funny Cars with Buddy Hall will be back. I believe it is starting in Indy. So you can watch all the previous ones on the YouTube channel or on your NHRA Fast channels. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is that time. It is that time. And it is time for your Drag Race Bracket Bonanza Top 10. Let's go take a look at this. It's completely turned upside down from what it was in week 1. We will start right out of the gate with Steve is now number 1, 73.939 points. Oh, hold on. This is your top 10 for the Arizona Nationals. So we got the Black Widow, 1320 in second, 73.913. 3. Marks 90, third, 72.893. You had the fourth place Nitro Freak, 72.728. Then you got Michael R in the fifth spot at 71.09. Then you have Sadie W, 69.893. Then WSU 070269 flat. And eighth, Old Dude, 67.925, and K9 and 9, how fitting, 67.227, and 10th. Fast Eddie WFO, 66.875 in 10th. Winner of your Arizona Nationals is Steve. Your winner of Top Fuel is Drag Race Billy, 31.684 points. That was close there. Steve was right behind. Then you got Overtime Racing, 31 points. Steals was 30. 1 point. He wins, or he or she wins, they win the Funny Car bracket and the Pro Stock bracket. RRARI, 32 points. Kitty was 29 points in second. And for your top 10 for the 2026 season, it has turned up a little bit. Lightning is number 1 at 136.709 points, holding that number 1 spot. Number 2, 1320 BS moves up the ladder, 135.451. James Lose 2 in third, 134.729 points. Possum drops from 1 to 4, 134.635 points. In the fifth spot, Dave, 133.109. In sixth, SST, 53.45. In that sixth spot, 133.092. Bracket champ, seventh, 132.426 points. And eighth, Steve, 132.232 points. And ninth, Bug Barn, 132 flat. And in 10th, you know this person. It is Kira Sage. In 10th, 131.541 points. That, ladies and gentlemen, rounds out your top 10 for your Drag Race Bracket Bonanza. Pretty cool stuff. Really excited about this season, and it's amazing how much this whole thing turned upside down after 1 week of, or 2 weeks of this race. Some interesting stuff as we will go into looking at our pie charts. And we will start with our first fun fact. We had one perfect bracket. This was in Top Fuel. They are now, Drag Race Bracket Bonanza is now up to 119 perfect brackets overall and one this season. We had none last week. There were 5 bracket busters within this thing. One did a lot of folks in. 2 in Top Fuel, 2 in Pro Stock, 1 in Funny Car. Now, what is considered a bracket buster? Probably want to know that, because how do they come up with that? Well, they consider a bracket buster if fewer than 40% of players have picked a driver to win. So that's how they come up with your bracket busters. Now, the biggest bracket buster of them all was in pro stock. As we look at our pie chart, at this 2026 Arizona Nationals, it was Chris McGahey, position 16, advances past Greg Anderson. He was the number one qualifier. Only 2.44% of Drag Race Bracket Bonanza players anticipated McGahey advancing out of E1, while 97.18% had Greg Anderson advancing on to the next round. Absolutely, probably one of the bigger bracket busters ever in Drag Race Bracket Bonanza history, I would think. The E1 loss here with these brackets of people who pretty much had Greg Anderson, winning the race. I think it was like 44.21% of folks' brackets were toast after round one. Chris McGahey had this to say about his win after round one. He said, "It was badass. I'm glad it screwed everybody's bracket up. You're welcome." Love it. As he murdered a lot of people's brackets. Unfortunately, Chris would go on to lose in E2. Top Fuel will look at how many people predicted the race winners. So we'll go to Top Fuel. I have those numbers here. How many people predicted the race winners? Top Fuel, Sean Langdon, he qualified number one. 35.57% of people picked him to win. He was number one overall picked. Ron Capps, by the way, this is pretty remarkable. You see who everybody had at the top. Spencer Hyde, you saw some people in the comments as well saying that they picked Spencer Hyde. 6.80% of people is fifth most driver to win. And then you have 24.75% for Dallas Glenn, second most pick driver to win. So that is your Drag Race Bracket Bonanza fun facts, and we will be putting out more fun facts throughout the week. Let's see, where did I leave off in comments? Pitt's Podcast says, "I feel like Proc didn't even stake his own claim as villain, and the internet wrote him into the role." Definitely. It was talked about in the first press conference. I think it was after the announcement, and that was brought up. And he said it on WFO, and he said it within that press conference, Zoom press conference, that he was willing to take the role. I asked him the question, and he said he's willing to lean into that role. He's all right with it. Yes, I watched both as well. Said I dropped 5 places in your league down to 8. Too many bracket busters. Yeah, very too many. And we'll look at our top 10 as well before we get out of here. Yes, early show this week, but we will have one tomorrow. We had to talk NHRA today. It's all IHRA tomorrow. We will have statistician and IHRA insider Dave W. A lot of great storylines within the IHRA, and if trying to have both is just not going to do you guys a good service. So I decided to have a surprise one today. The Pitch Podcast says Chris McGahey dropping Greg on a hole shot in round one was not on my bingo card. It wasn't in most people's bingo cards. What's up, Monday Morning Racer? Go out there to Monday Morning Racer right after this show. A lot of great content coming out from the Monday Morning Racer from IHRA. You can also check some of the March Meet stuff as well that they put up. All of it, great content If you missed any of the action, they've got it all, I believe, right there on the Monday Morning Racer platform. Again, a stand-up job. I'm not just saying that because I work with the guy and that's my brother, but at the end of the day, the numbers don't lie. Women do and men do, though. Maddie the Baddie. Yeah, I'm still going with Maddie Mania. We need those shirts ASAP. ASAP. Drag Race Mayhem says, I love how I don't even watch college basketball yet. My March Madness bracket is doing better than most of my Drag Race bracket bonanza brackets. I can't say that. Had Florida picked, it was Michigan and Florida in the final, and yesterday, you might as well, they just took a daggone bazooka to my bracket and blew it up. So both of my brackets, I host a bracket league. It's only two of us, but we have fun. And then I was in one with another person, and both brackets are absolutely and positively toast. Did not do, in the one that I do, sometimes I'll do two brackets. I allow people to do two brackets. We only did one this year. I just didn't feel like it. The IHRA Downtime Nationals. It's tough. And I think, what the IHRA struggles from is they only have 2 days, right? And there's a lot going on. So if for whatever reason somebody oils the track down or has an incident, it really does back them up tremendously. I don't think it has anything to do with the pro turnarounds at all. And it could. Some of these guys are just getting started in having a season where they're going to have repetition on turning their cars around. I think they probably would likely try to want to get faster, but in those turnarounds, but you had stupid rain that was not really forecast, that just so happened to be a small area of rain, and it just so happened to be there. So I think as the season goes on, it gets better. But at the same time, NHRA doesn't have too much downtime because they have every class you can pretty much find on the docket, and we all think they have too many classes. So kind of hard to have downtime unless you have an incident. And what a job by them cleaning up an incident on the top end from Ron Capps. It didn't take long. You can go back to Gainesville as well, the safety safari. I don't know whether they got more equipment or better equipment. Whatever it is, they have done a good job of turning it around. And I think where the IHRA can do better, you need a few more of those Zambonis out there to kind of help with the cleanup instead of having one. I think if you have two of those, that'll speed up the process. They've got enough, they've got enough of those, tractors to drag the track. So I don't think that's a problem. Cleanup is probably another issue where they could kind of, speed up the process. But I'll say, compared to last year, it was not that bad. It wasn't that bad at all. It says IHRA has too many classes. Why do they need Outlaw Pro Mod and Pro Mod? Like it's getting to a point where less is more. I agree with that now. I think they can come up with a package that helps that both can run together in one class. But they have cars. They have enough cars for both of those classes. So, and I think that car count will grow. Memphis Lonnie says, had Leah won yesterday, you would have had a former husband and wife winning there. Yeah. Yeah. Nice. I see what you did there. You and Brian Loans. Although Brian Loans had to do it within qualifying in front of everybody, God and Mama and everybody. I was like, why'd you do them like that? NHRA will dump. Yeah. Oh, they are. It's coming. We all know it. It's coming. And those classes, all those people will end up flocking. I think you're going to have movement anyway. I think people are seeing how this went off with the IHRA. I think there are people that are out there that are on the fence a little bit. And they'll come on over. But you're right. I see some things getting dumped. And I think we know what those are. Because I actually agree with dumping classes better for the show, which is ultimately why the sport exists. Without fans, that dude is just going to run out of money. You guys are missing the point. I've said this 1,000 times. He's on a different playing field. And this is business at the end of the day. These tracks are business investments. Hence, he owns every one of them. They're tax write-offs. They are also multi-purpose facilities. Again, they will never and hardly ever sit dormant. It's a whole nother ball game here. This is not a sanctioning body that has a couple tracks, a handful, and everybody else, they pretty much rent the track. No. This is basically another business. The NHRA is another business. And I don't think people realize how much money his first business makes. Hand over fist. I don't see you can become tired. I can see that. But his pockets are deeper than people realize. I don't think people grasp the understanding that we are talking about. These are pieces of property that he owns. It's a whole nother ball game, owning your own property, then naming them all in the same kind of Durana umbrella. It's all business ploy. Write-off, tax write-off. There's so many breaks he's going to get from this. And again, multi-purpose facilities. They will be campgrounds. They will have host shows, concerts, bull riding, tractor pulls, whatever. They got it all. That's the difference. Those tracks don't have to sit dormant. And it's pretty much, to be honest with you, the new age. It's been talked about by other track owners. And I'll go back to a track owner that owns the one in Louisiana. And I can't think of the name. No Problem Raceway. And I can't think of his name. But he's been kind of the one that kind of spearheaded all of this and kind of got people thinking outside of the box on how to use their racetrack outside of just having drag racing. This man's just taking it to a whole nother level because he can. He's like Bill Gates, rich, and probably could be more with the technology that his company, main company, provides. And we are headed into a more technical age. So, I think people missed that point. I will get to, before we get out of here, I will get to our drag race bracket bonanza, the Not Bland Show League, and here, let's show it. Here is your top 10. And we have, for the Arizona Nationals, Kelsey C wins the Arizona Nationals, comes in first here. You got Drag Race Girly 99 was second. I was third in that. I don't even know how I made it there. Ironhead Motorsports fourth. Nikki fifth. WPR 58 sixth. Mac 13 27th. Memphis Lonnie in eighth. Nitro Scooter in ninth. And FK Nealer in 10th. So our overall for the season is as follows. Drag Race Girly 99 is in first place at 128.584 points. We got WPR 58 in second at 122.94 points. Nikki Clark in third, 118.255 points. Kelsey C in 117.613. Myself in fifth, 117.065. You got your sixth place, Memphis Lonnie, 112.52. 112.521. You Got Ironhead Motorsports in 7th at 111.086. Mac 1320 in 8th, 106.653. And we got FK Nealer in 9th, 97.64. And Nitro Performance Guy rounds out your top 10, 95.499. Get it in while you can. As you see, Dave W has come up 2 spots. So get it in while you can. Yes, Nelson Hoyas. He's kind of been the guy that spearheaded all of that. And people are understanding and taking notice. And Daryl's just taking it to a whole nother level. So that's your top 10 for your drag race bracket bonanza, the Not Bland Show League. So pretty cool stuff. I'm happy to be in the top 5. I don't know how long it lasts. I will be being nice, and I will put out I will put out a message on the Not Bland Show Facebook page to do your brackets. That's my courtesy to you, because I really want everybody to make sure that they do their brackets, because I'm going to make sure that I don't miss when the season starts for me. I'm going to make sure that I don't miss putting together my bracket. So it's very important that we get that done. So I don't want you guys to miss out on that. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for taking the time to check out the show on a short notice. Like I said, there's so much going on in drag racing. I just needed to do the NHRA by itself. Tomorrow we will have IHRA talk, and we'll have Dave W on the show. So super excited about that. Enjoy the rest of your Monday, and I'll see you guys tomorrow on the Not Bland Show at 7:00 p.m. Eastern. Good night, everybody.
Like a crossover sleeper, 4 inches in the cold. Crowd breathing like smoke, and it felt great in my voice when the pressure gets woke. Engine scream through the night. That F1 razor lines cut clean, turn sharp like a hometown savior. NASCAR drift in my blood when the pace get wild. I talk speed like a veteran, move calm like a smile. Legends born out of sweat, out of heartbreaks echo. I break plays down smooth, caught a game like a maestro. Every lane that we touch, every story we show. This is where the truth runs. The Not Bland Show. Fast lanes, fast breaks, whole crowd froze. Big drives, deep shots, watch a moment explode. Every angle hit heavy with the champions glow. Step into the kingdom, the Not Bland Show. Fast lanes, fast breaks, whole crowd froze. Big drives, deep shots, watch a moment explode. Every angle hit heavy with the champions glow. Step into the kingdom, the Not Bland Show.